I am a hybrid designer and studio artist whose work is conceptually rooted by the phrase visual language and technically rooted through some mechanism of time-based media. Through this word, image, temporal interplay, my work facilitates a synthesis between a verbal and visual experience. The material concerns of the physical world and the computational processes of digital media work in concert. I am fascinated in the space between the virtual experience of the computer and the tangible reality of physical processes. I use these creative expressions to engage with my audience to raise awareness of social, cultural, environmental, or existential issues. My work spans traditional and digital studio concerns and serves as a platform by which a hybrid approach looks to both defamiliarize our experiences with words, language, images, materiality, media, time, and technique, while playing against the familiarity of those very things, and open a plurality of meaning and interpretation. A range of material pursuits assure I explore new territory and allow me to see the potentiality of form and the visual representation of language and animation with fresh eyes. They offer atypical methodologies, offbeat working intentions, and distinct historical contexts. These excursions outside of the realm of conventional creative practice both critique and expand the resiliency of my own creative intuitions, sensibilities, and practices, while expanding my work to exist in both design and art contexts. In this work, I use sound waves to agitate physical materials to create my forms. The resulting animation speaks to cultural and language misunderstandings. The aesthetics are also utilized for print-based versions of the typeface. My creative work challenges our notions of legibility, readability, and text-based visual communication. This constant interplay between word and image has yielded especially fertile ground for my research activities and serves as the common thread connecting all my creative activity. I shift freely between static and dynamic media, and by doing so, am able to explore the rich diversity, impact, and beauty of words. My ambitions as a communicator are to reconsider the conventions through which we experience texts and images by way of exploring the simultaneously independent and interdependent nature of their relationship. In addition to my work with typography, I also engage with other approaches to art. The Lines series uses a simple visual metaphor of a meandering mark to represent the complex notion of a life's journey. Each compositional element is composed of a single non-overlapping line. Between each endpoint is a series of curves and bends, creating a densely and meandered form. On the rare instances in which visual elements intersect each other, moire patterns or interference patterns start to emerge, creating a visual complexity greater than the sum of its parts. The simplicity and abstraction of these forms lend themselves to introspective interpretations. The compositions demand full attention and focus. Though the labyrinths can be scanned over and taken in as a whole, it is only through the disciplined and time-consuming journey from endpoint to endpoint in which the art is fully experienced. The series spans drawing, printmaking, digital, laser engraving, typography, and performance. In this series, I use discarded media archives, microfiche and microfilm, and repurpose it as visual form. In many regards, the Archival Form series examines an outdated visual system of organizing and cataloging information while suggesting at the abundance of knowledge available today. In other regards, the work explores the nature or essence of grids, regardless of the information it contains. Since the text on the microfilm is too small for the audience to read, other characteristics of the media come forward. The patterns, the organization of space, the light and dark areas overlapping each other. The work is playful in that the audience knows there are words, but understand that they are not meant for a traditional reading in this context. The series spans both static and dynamic media and alludes to structures of media, the act of archiving, and the binary concept of mechanical against analog, function against form. The terms discard, recycle, repurpose, and reconfigure came to the forefront within the series. The aesthetic similarities of the subway photographs and the strips of microfilm from the series' archival forms is striking in this collection of mashups. The rigidity of the page layouts and historical archive rubbing up against the rigidity of modern city life and urban planning systems creates a very dynamic visual and conceptual dialogue within the series. If we define a panorama as an image that allows us to see more of an image, a more complete survey of a subject, allowing for an uninterrupted view, how might we define a temporal panorama? A temporal panorama would suggest the ability to document the cause and the effect, the before with the after. Or at the very least, a temporal panorama allows us the opportunity to see more than a single moment in time or a single location in space, all the while affording us the luxury of viewing a single image. My work within time-based media is broad. I've done commercially oriented work like this looped motion poster designed for Spark, a new media, poetry, and art symposium. I've also worked collaboratively as I did with the Placed app team. For my part, I created the promotional motion graphic video for the app. Here I animated the functionality of the application while a voiceover explains the conceptual backing and social impact of the project. On the other end of the spectrum, my work can be more experimental, as seen in this clip from an audio installation and performance. This collaborative visual sound performance incorporated traditional instruments, computer technology, and analog media and has been performed in New York, Rhode Island, and Massachusetts.